Hello and welcome back to another episode of So Sweet Violet. My name is Jooles and this podcast is to share the crafty side of my life. You can find me on Patreon, Instagram, Ravelry and my shop as So Sweet Violet, and the links are below this video on YouTube. For my shop, my daughter and I make heirloom pieces including project bags, beautiful kits and patterns, and we also stock high quality tools and notions for crafters. I live in West Sussex in England with my husband and little Mabel, our whippet. Hello my lovely friends and welcome to my journal number 88. I've just literally recorded a knitting version of my journal. Decided to kind of split them because I have so many whips, lots of knitting and crochet and lots of sewing. I decided to split them, so this is the sewing journal. I thought it would make my life a little simpler when it comes to editing. But it's so lovely to see you again. I hope you're all well and have had a lovely crafty time since I saw you last. It's the 12th of April when I'm recording this, but it'll probably be 2 weeks on from that. So that would be the 26th? I've probably got that wrong. My brain is useless, really. Anyway, it's so nice actually. Now that I've got the little intro to my journals, it's so nice. I don't have to really remember very much. All I have to remember to say is that everything I talk about in this video, I'll put links down below this video on YouTube. If you click the More button, it will show all of the descriptions that I've written and all of the clickable links to things that I talk about. This video, I'm trying a studio light. It looks very bright. But perhaps it's better to be very bright than very dark. We'll see. Got myself a cup of coffee. It's the same cup of coffee that I was drinking in my knitting segment, which if you like my videos, you'd have already seen in journal number 86. So let's get on to some sewing, some cross stitch, some EPP, some quilting, all of that good stuff. So to start with, I think I'm going to talk about a new quilt. Oh, that's heavy. I'm taking part in the Tiny 9-Patch Challenge by Repro Quilt Lover. Although I'm saying that kind of loosely, I'm not really doing the challenge part, I'm just making the Tiny 9-Patch quilt. The challenge is, I think you have to do 10 squares a week throughout the year, but I think I'm probably around up to date because I just do a whole big batch when I have time. So that's what I've been doing. It's a free pattern, so if you go to Repro Quilt Lover, you'll be able to download and print out the pattern. I am doing the smaller size, which is actually called, I think, called the Teeny Tiny 9-Patch, and I'm doing this with my lovely friend Nikki, who is Clara Peggotty of the Sheep and Cheerful podcast. We swap fabric squares, which is really fun because it kind of invigorates my and her fabric collections. So I've got 2 plates. Now I have to be very careful not to tip it too much. 2 plates full of little 1-inch squares. I think that light is a bit too bright. What do you think? Let me hold something up to the camera. Let me hold my beginnings of my quilt up to the... Yeah, I think I'm going to turn that light off. I wish it was dimmable. Yes, so I was saying I have 2 plates of little 1-inch squares, which are really fun to cut actually. Yeah, they're really fun. I feel like I may need to buy some... Oh, excuse my tummy, it's really being naughty today. It's because I fast until lunchtime and Doesn't normally gurgle, but today it's decided to gurgle. Shall I give it some coffee? Hopefully that will help. So after cutting my 1-inch squares in this box, I have all of my squares that I've made, and I keep a tally, and I've made 133. We have these cute little notepads. They're sticky notes from Rifle Paper Co. We have them in the shop. We have lemon and strawberry, and they're really cute. So I have got a whole pot of teeny tiny 9-patch blocks. And they are teeny tiny. Look at the middle square. Tiny. I don't know what that is. Is that a 1/4 inch? No, that must be 1/2 inch, I think. The block, when it goes into the quilt, turns out at 1.5 inches. Yes, 1.5 inches. So this is how far I've got. Look, it's so cute, isn't it? You can use the tiniest scraps of fabric because you can get away, if you've just got enough fabric for 4 squares, that's part of a block. So you need 4 squares of one fabric and 5 squares of a different fabric. Well, that's how I'm doing it. Obviously you can do it however you like. Some people are hand stitching this, which I think is incredible, but I'm doing mine on the sewing machine. And I got this lovely, well, I was going to use just plain white for the backing, and then I thought, actually, I saw somebody on Instagram who'd used something similar. Can't remember who it was. But anyway, she'd used a Cotton and Steel or Rifle Paper Company, kind of similar to this with a neon cross. So I wanted, oopsie, so I wanted something similar, and I went on to, I think it was So Hot. They have lots of Riley Blake, and it's just what I was looking for, so I was really thrilled about that. But these little squares are so tiny. They're 1.5 inches, but it's so addictive. I love it. Oh, it's going to look so good as a big quilt. Yes, so that is my first sewing project. I've got lots of the white background squares cut out. I might spend some time tomorrow doing this, because tomorrow is Friday and it's my day off. So that is that. Ooh. Next up, oh dear, I've lost some squares, rogue squares. Next up, I'm doing some cross stitch, and I'm so happy to be back doing cross stitch. I think I showed this on Journal 86, and it was on a different fabric, and I just found it so hard to stitch because my eyeballs are not as good as they used to be. Hang on a second, let me get everything out. Yeah, my eyeballs are not as good as they used to be. Oh, it's in one of our really lovely sewing bags. And I am cross stitching this, which is Mice in the Sewing Room by Brenda Gervais. And I got all of the called for threads, with exception of the red, because I did a boo-boo and ordered the wrong one. But this is how far I've got. Let me do that. So I started again because the last linen I was using, I think, was 28 count. And I just found it too much for my eyes, and it was looking messy because I would kind of miss a thread, and it just wasn't working for me. So I then got some 25 count Lugana, I think. No, even weave. So it's DMC even weave. and I got this from Marie's Cross Stitch, and it's really good. The holes are very visible. I don't know if you can see. I didn't really want white, but oh, hello. I didn't really want white, but I don't think I could find a beigey colour at the time. I think I since have got some beige, but I've got another project to do with that. So I am enjoying this. I've got a little light. It's actually a rubbish little light, but it does the trick, kind of. It's a magnifier and light all in one. Occasionally I'll use the magnifying bit, but it's a bit really clumsy. And the light isn't great, but it helps me do this. Well, I can't show you the chart, can I? I can show you my Cocoa Knits design board, which I love. So I've got my chart, which I'll quickly show, and I put it on my design board, and I use this ruler. To show me where I am, and it's so useful. And it comes with little magnets, so you can magnetise your pattern onto the design board, and it's just so helpful. And I just keep this on my lap, and I have this, and I'm stitching on it, which is really nice. I have all of my threads here, so all of them are tangled. Are the called for threads, except for the red, which I made a mistake on. And I've made a super duper discovery. In our shop we sell these adorable sets, the Kohana little pouch and thread clippers, and I find it so useful, this little pouch. You know when you cut some, oh my goodness, hello camera. You know when you cut some thread and you only use so many strands of it, and then you have this random piece of thread kind of running around in your sewing box? My little box where I keep my threads and things is a Turkish Delight box from Christmas. So to prevent those threads from just tangling and just rolling around everywhere, I coil up the little threads that I'm not using from the strand and pop them in here, and it's so perfect. And you just pull the elastic, and then they're all safe and sound in your little pouch. And the snips are amazing. They are so sharp, and you can get, oh, I haven't got an example to show, but I don't know if this is what everyone does or if what I've been taught. But when I start a new thread, I'll knot it, and then I'll go through the fabric from the front where I know is going to be covered up, and then start stitching, and then that thread from the back just gets kind of stitched over and secured, but then you're left with a knot on the front. But these are amazing. You can get so close and cut the knot off. So that's those, which I'm loving. The other thing I need to say is that instead of 2 strands of thread, I'm actually using 3, because the count is lower and I felt you could see too much of the background through, especially the tomato. That's the back if you're interested. I don't know if I'm a particularly neat cross stitcher, but that is the back. My friend Natalie really got me back into cross stitch, and she is Home Sweet Home Handmade, and she has a lovely podcast all about her cross stitching. She does the prettiest things, and yeah, she just got me really excited about it. And let me show you something else. So quite a while ago, lovely Natalie sent me this little kit. Well, it wasn't actually a kit, it's a pattern, but she's put all the bits in there for me, or some of the bits. And he's called Theodore. Sorry about the glariness. Isn't he gorgeous? So I wanted to make him, and then I was also chatting to Natalie, and I got these. These are new patterns by Stacey Nash Designs. And this is a little needle keeper. And then this little squirrel. The squirrel's called Miss Hazel. Oops, and she also has a little heart. And the bunny, who I am just in love with, is called Maggie May. So they are on my cross stitch wish list to make. So I think that's everything about my cross stitch. I'm really enjoying being back into it, and I'm just so pleased I found an even weave that I like and I can see properly. So yeah, I'm really excited about cross stitch now. My friend Nicola of Bumble Stitches, she used to be a knitter, and now she predominantly cross stitches, and she has a channel all about cross stitches, so cross stitching. So if you're interested, I'd pop along and see her, because she does lovely giveaways and things as well, and her projects are gorgeous too. And she is now a floss tuber rather than a podcaster. I don't really understand the difference. Well, I do understand well, I don't know. Yeah, she's just a floss tuber. And I think Natalie calls herself a floss tuber as well. Okay, my next sewing project is a little kit. Brian and I were so lucky, and we went to the stitchery run by Nikki Franklin. And there was a special guest called Christy Jones Ray, who is, I call her Queen Christy the Gentle. She is just the most beautiful soul and beautiful person. And she had designed a little doll quilt. So the class was to make this little doll quilt. Isn't that beautiful? And I bought myself a little Eliza as well. I'll show you in a minute. Can I show you the back? Yes, I can show you the back. So this is Christy. And there's Nikki. And it was the loveliest day. Brian and I went up the night before the class because it was quite a journey for us. We stayed in a really cute hotel. And then the next morning we went off to the stitchery, and I did a whole video about it on Patreon. That place is just like a dream. It's so magical, and I met some really lovely people. I met one of my gorgeous patrons as well, and it was just so nice. All the ladies were just so happy. It was just such a happy time. And we spent our day stitching and chatting and snacking, and in the afternoon Nikki's sister came in and opened the shop. Oh my goodness, I did treat myself to some things, and maybe if I continue these sewing episodes you may see some of those things soon. So far I have made lots of little hexagon flowers. This one with a little bunny in the middle. That's so adorable. So that's something that Christy does a lot. She puts, she does some fussy cutting, and it's so beautiful. So it's got me quite excited about that. So I've got all those, and the kit came with the papers, all the fabrics, and the background fabric, which is the fabric with the little bunnies on. Isn't that gorgeous? And oh no, that's for the hexie. So I've got lots and lots of white hexies to, it's actually off-white, to make, so that, because that's the kind of filler of the quilt. How beautiful is that? It's so pretty. But the day was just heaven. So if you're interested in having a little peek into Nikki's world and see Christy, there's a video on my Patreon. I talked quite a lot about my Patreon account in my last video. So if you want to know a bit more about it, then check journal 18. 87 out. I think it's 87. So that is my other in the making, and that's living in another one of our signature sewing bags, which I love. I like to have these bags like books on a shelf, and you can just pull out whichever bag, whichever project you want. Don't know if there's any in the shop. There could be a Rainbow Liberty one, I'm not sure. Let me go and show you my little Eliza mouse. Well, how adorable is she? Oh, she's so adorable with her little crown. And she is numbered, and her number is number 157. She's so adorable. I just love the fact that she is made with Christie's fair hands. Queen Christie the Gentle. And Nikki also is such a delight, and the whole day was brilliant. We were so well looked after. It was magical. Next up, this is a project I'm going to start very soon. I've ordered my threads for it. They may even come today with a bit of luck. But this is, you probably can't even see it. This is from the Stitchery. And this is a, oh yes you can. And this is a sew-along piece, sew-along sampler. And it started, I think, about 8 weeks ago, and I haven't even started it. Mind you, I got it late. That's no excuse, I didn't get it that late. I just haven't started it. I've ordered my threads up to a certain point, and I'm really excited to get going. These little topiary trees here are all stitched in French knots. I'm really, really excited about doing those. I have a lot of embroidery kits that I've bought over the years, and I really want to start getting them out and enjoying them, because what's the point of them sitting in my craft cupboard, which is there? I just, yeah, I've got the itch to just do more and more and more hand sewing. Strange, isn't it, how we have like seasons as crafters, I guess, and it must be my sewing season. I wanted to show you a little something in the shop. It's nothing to do with sewing. Well, it is actually, because they're sewn, but I just thought I'd share with you. We have just a couple of each of these gorgeous Liberty crackers left in the shop. We made these at Christmas for our Christmas fair, and they flew off the table. And same here, we made loads extra for the spring fair, and we just have a few left, so I thought I'd share them with you and just tell you a little bit about them. So it's a handmade cracker. It's like a wrapper, and there's a little sturdy canister inside which you can reuse. You can take the lid off, take your goodies out, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and then you can refill it for somebody else. It is so pretty. I used these on my Christmas table, the Christmas ones, and I was so silly. I could have used them on my Easter table, but I just forgot. Happy Easter, by the way. I hope you had a lovely one. We had a very family one, which was perfect. So inside these gorgeous crackers, oh hang on, let me show you this one. So this one's called Betsy Boo. Isn't that cute? And this one, oh my goodness, I keep forgetting. Oh, I can't remember the name of that one. But inside these gorgeous crackers, there is something useful, so a tool. So these are ones for knitters, by the way, not sewists. All the sewist ones have gone. So inside you'll find something useful, so a kind of knitting tool. You'll find something delicious and something beautiful. So there's 3 gorgeous gifts inside. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So that's it for all my sewing. So I really hope you enjoyed this different episode. If this goes well, it might be something that I continue to do, a knitting crochet one and then a sewing cross stitch one, alternates. but we'll see. I mean, sometimes maybe I won't have enough of each thing to do 2 separate ones, but because I had quite a lot today, I thought it would work out well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and also if you'd like to subscribe, please do. And I'd love it if you'd left me a comment. I love to read your comments. And yeah, hopefully I will see you soon. I'm wishing you a happy, healthy and crafty time until I see you next. Bye!